So we've desensitized them to these cups. They're going to keep running in and out of these cups. Now what do we do? It's a fucking holiday. It's not Family Day in Congo, so. It's funny, if I stop making noise, if I start making noise, they fucking disappear. You get noise and make it hard to think of shit. That's not right as tight as you can. I changed these. Why are you changing your URLs? Damn. There is something not right here. My clock's not turning. Damn it. Simply not working. This is wonderful. What is good? What am I doing here? Just nothing, I guess. Fuck.
Available for you. Well, as you have been hearing in our forecast, we do have snowfall warnings and winter storm warnings in effect across the GTHA. Lots of centimeters of snow expected throughout the day today in 2 different rounds. Taking a look at Oshawa right now, we have overcast skies with periods of light snow, -7. Milton, periods of snow at times, and -8. Right now in downtown Toronto, we have similar conditions, -5. 6:80 news time. There's the tone. It's 8 o'clock. Toronto's #1 news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
Good morning. This is Monday, February 15th.
Hey, you said it was 7:30 when it was 4:30 earlier.
If you're crossing the border to Canada, beginning today, you'll have to hand over a negative COVID-19 test taken within 72 hours.
Residents of a Mississauga condo getting ready to be tested for COVID-19 today after there's an outbreak of the variant virus first discovered in South Africa.
The entire GTA now under a snowfall warning. 25 centimeters could fall by tomorrow morning. Even more in Hamilton and Niagara, where winter storm warnings are in place. Need milk or bread for the kids' back-to-school lunches? We'll have details on what's open and closed today coming up.
Frustration for the Raptors, who lost to the NBA's worst team last night, and Jumbo Joe poised for a return against the Sens tonight. Bullets at 15.
And coming up in business, Amazon's cloud computing division, AWS, teaming up with the NHL to bring more real-time data to the fans. 6:80 news time, 8:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Zach Bodenstein.
This report's brought to you by Search Kings, and we have one problem to deal with if you're on the major highways at this point. Eastbound 401 at Islington and the Express. The 3 left lanes are blocked to the collision. Serious damage to this vehicle. Flatbed tow on scene, emergency vehicles, so police cruiser and an ambulance. It'll definitely catch the eye. The good thing is it's not causing too heavy of a delay through the Express, not causing any delay at all through the collectors. Still moving really well through there. One other problem to tell you about, southbound Highway 27 now closed from Finch to Rexdale. This is because of a collision, so Toronto Transportation giving us that information. Just a heads up that you won't be able to travel through that stretch south Highway 27 rather, from Finch down towards Rexdale. Looking for better results from your Google advertising? Switch to Search Kings, winner of the Google Premier Partner Customer Satisfaction Award. Your search is over. Let Search Kings help your customers find you. With the forecast, Denise Andriacci.
Total temperatures in the
There's no way
minus
to know
single
what's
digits across
happening
the
in Congo
GTA
right
with that
now.
light
It's the guy
scour
that runs the
snowfall.
radio.
We'll see about 2 to 4, possibly up to 5 centimeters with this first
Not
round, and then
running
10 to 20
radio.
centimeters with the next round, and that's later tonight, overnight, and through Tuesday morning. Winds will start to intensify later on today, and that will blow and drift this snow around. So in addition to the accumulation, we'll have very poor visibility on the roads. Temperature-wise, yes, we're still sitting in that below seasonal air mass for another couple of days here. It's going to feel like minus 17 overnight tonight. Your guaranteed high minus 6.
6:80 news time, 8:03.
Self-preservation. If they see their buddies doing something.
A hopeful week for many Canadians as thousands of Pfizer vaccines will be crossing the border from the U.S., but that won't be the
Logic
only
is
thing
ridiculous.
entering the country easily.
Yeah, as of 680's Michelle Morton tells us, there are new restrictions at the Canada-U.S. land border that will now require a negative COVID-19 test before entry. We get more, and she's joining us live with the latest. Michelle.
Carl, a negative COVID-19 test, that's what you'll have to hand over when you're crossing the border into Canada from the U.S. starting today. All non-essential travelers will have to provide proof of a negative test taken in the U.S. within 72 hours, like air travelers. And if you show up without a test,
international boundaries.
says
These people
you'll
look
have
at
to
you like
pay.
you're
A
speaking a
stiff
foreign
penalty,
language.
a fine, and demand.
But they'll
and,
insist that
ensure
cities and
a
provinces
rapid
have borders.
and complete
They
follow-up
don't.
to make sure that they are getting tested, that they are being properly quarantined.
Also, starting a week today, travelers entering the country through the border will have to be tested on arrivals
Through
and near
the
the
border.
end of their
Like
14-day quarantine.
Via
The border
doesn't mean
remains
through,
closed to
dumbass.
non-essential travel until
Got
at
it.
least February
You guys know what the whole
21st.
thing
Restrictions
happens to
have
you?
been in place since March. Meanwhile, Canada's vaccination efforts are wrapping up this week. The Public Health Agency says Canada can expect more than 335,000 doses this week, the largest shipment of vaccines since the pandemic began. But we're not expecting any of the Moderna shots this week because those deliveries arrive every 3 weeks. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Morton.
Peel Public Health will be conducting urgent COVID-19 testing of all residents at a Mississauga condo today. As 680's Julia Rulesi reports, it comes after a confirmed outbreak of the virus variant first discovered in South Africa was identified in the building.
Peel Region has not named the building in question, but Peel Public Health says it's taking the urgent step now while community spread of the variant is still low. To date, there are 5 cases of the variant first found in South Africa at the condo building, and testing is set to be conducted floor by floor from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or Peel Region says residents can go to a testing center in the community. So far, Public Health Ontario says they have identified 6 cases of this variant in the province, and the Peel Medical Officer Health says it's imperative that people continue to follow public health guidelines and limit interactions with others in order to contain the spread.
Let me guess, you're going to have 3 or 4 people standing next to each other doing this, so you could have 3 or 4 apartment doors open at a time, right?
We'll get 2 sets of COVID-19 data from the province tomorrow. Yesterday, Ontario reported less than 1,000 new cases of the virus, as well as 42 more deaths. Now, when it does come to Toronto's case count, the total of 122 new infections was likely underreported due to an ongoing migration to a new system.
Really? Because it's been 2 weeks.
680 News Time, 8:06. Tomorrow, a big day for many kids across the GTA as they get ready to head back to school after they've been closed since mid-December. But it could become a snow day before they even get there. Snowfall and winter storm warnings are now in place across the GTA. 2 rounds of snow expected today. 680's Alex Bloomfield has the latest.
Round 1, a bit of a teaser.
We're looking at about 2 to 5 centimeters this morning and early afternoon.
That's our weather specialist, Denise Andriachi, who says it's round 2 packing the knockout punch. Up to 20 additional centimeters of snow late tonight into Tuesday morning, possibly leading to a cruel deal for parents in Toronto, Peel, and York.
It may be a snow day. We'll have to look at just how intense this snowfall is. With these winds, early morning travel is going to be very treacherous.
Lake enhancement could result in up to 35 centimeters of snow for Hamilton and Niagara region. Winter storm warnings in place there. Snowfall warnings for the rest of us. And buckle up, there's another storm tracking toward the GTA for Thursday before this 2-week cold snap finally lets up for next weekend. I'm Alex Bloomfield.
680 News Time, 8:07. Now, in addition to pandemic restrictions, a number of things are open and closed today for Family Day. Libraries, banks, government offices, LCBO and beer stores, as well as most grocery stores are going to be keeping their doors shut. If you do need to get around, the TTC is running on a holiday schedule. And for exercise, you can try to book some time on the outdoor skating rinks. Keep in mind, reservations need to be made online.
New data is shining a spotlight on where billions of dollars in Canada emergency response benefits ended up. From March to last October, CERB paid out nearly $82 billion to some 9 million people who either lost their jobs or had their hours cut because of the pandemic. And according to the findings, nearly 21% of those living in Brampton were receiving CERB last year.
680 News Time, 8:08. Stateside, a new poll suggests more than half of Americans would have supported convicting the former U.S. president during his second Senate trial for inciting an insurrection.
58% of the new ABC News Ipsos poll say that President Trump should have been convicted and barred from holding future office. It was 56% last week. The 7 Republicans, or 14% of the Senate GOP, mirrors the 14% of Republicans in the poll who believe Mr. Trump should have been convicted. 61% overall supported holding the trial. 83% of Republicans were against it. The poll was taken Saturday and Sunday of 547 adults in English and Spanish. Numbers could be off 4.8 points plus or minus. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Another royal baby is on the way. Prince Harry and his wife Meghan have announced through a social media post little Archie will soon have a big responsibility. ABC's Janai Norman reports.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry smiling at each other. Meghan hand on her baby bump. A spokesperson confirming Archie is going to be a big brother. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are overjoyed to be expecting their second child. News of that child that would be 8th in line to the throne coming just 2.5 months after Markle revealed the couple suffered a miscarriage. In a New York Times op-ed writing, I knew as I clutched my firstborn child that I was losing my second. Hours later, I lay in the hospital bed holding my husband's hand. I tried to imagine how we'd heal.
The couple quit their royal duties early last year and moved to California. Coming up in 30 seconds, a look at gas prices.
And this portion of the news was brought to you by Bath Fitters. 680 News Time, 8:09.
This is 680 News.
A lot of us are spending more time at home where it's nice to be able to relax. Imagine a brand new bathtub being installed quickly, safely, and beautifully with a lifetime warranty. Will that be perfect? That's what Bath Fitter can do for you. Bath Fitter's 35 years experience can turn old into new and worn into wow in one day. Installed by one expert technician. And here is some exciting news. For a limited time, we pay the tax for you. Hurry, offer ends soon. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free virtual design consultation today.
Now the 680 News gas price update. And Pro says the price will not change at midnight, holding at $1.17.9 a liter at most GTA stations.
680 News Time, 8:10.
Hi, Anthony Longo here.
We're making it easier to save you money and check everything off your shopping list with our new line of Longo's Essentials. Common household products that combine the quality Longo's is known for with prices that will save you the hassle of shopping around. Things like butter and spices, garbage bags, and aluminum foil. You know, the everyday stuff. Just look for the packaging with the big check mark to check everything off your list. Check-y, check, check, check. For quality that meets your family standards, trust ours, Longo's.
RRSP season is here. Consider Israel Bonds for your RRSP and tax-free savings account. Israel Bonds are now paying up to 3.30% in Canadian dollars, subject to conditions. Israel Bonds are sold in Canada by Canada Israel Securities Limited, a registered exempt market dealer. Diversify your RRSP and TFSA with Israel Bonds. Rates up to 3.30% are available until February 28th. Call Israel Bonds today at 416-789-3351 or visit israelbonds.ca.
News time, 8:11.
And with a look at those roads, here is Zach Bodenstein.
This report's brought to you by Sportsnet. New issue, Leslie ramp to the westbound 407 blocked because of a collision, so there's no access through here. That's the only real closure we have in terms of ramps at this point. We have one other problem. We'll get to that in 1 second in terms of closures. One issue, though, on the major highways, eastbound 401 at Islington and the Express. 3 left lanes taken out for a collision. Minor delay through here. Looks like the vehicle's been hooked up to the flatbed tow. We still have emergency crews on scene. Perhaps that means they're going to be opening some lanes soon, but for now, really just only a minor delay through those express lanes east on the 401 through Islington. To get to this closure now, southbound Highway 27 is closed from Finch to Rexdale, and that's because of a collision. This season, home is where the hockey is. For a chance to be a part of a virtual viewing party on hockey night every Saturday, visit Rogers Hometown Hockey in the Sportsnet app. With the forecast, here's Denise Andriacci.
Well, we have light snow now in the GTA, round 1 of 2. Snowfall warnings in effect, and right now it's not too bad out there, but the winds will start to pick up later with round 2 and the visibility is going to get hampered. Now the bulk of the intense snow will fall overnight likely, so we don't have to deal too much with it on the roads, and we're going to get a break this afternoon, but by the time it's all wrapped up, close to 25 centimeters for many communities across the GTA and southern Ontario. So we are under these snowfall warnings, and then Hamilton, Niagara under winter storm warnings. We could see some lake enhancement there, just upping their snow totals. Oh, temperatures, yeah, still below seasonal. We're still tapping into that very cold air mass. This winter weather is extending all the way down to the state of Texas. Just unbelievable cold dipping into this trough in the jet stream, and all these waves of active weather riding along. So we'll see another round later Thursday, Friday with about 10 centimeters. -5 downtown right now, -7 at Pearson. The guaranteed high -6.
680 News Time, 8:13.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is out with its 2021 inductee nominations. 680's Joey Keeney is breaking down the list.
Yeah, I'm up in Brooklyn. Jay-Z, Mary J. Blige, Dionne Warwick, Iron Maiden, Tina Turner, Fela Kuti, and Rage Against the Machine all making this year's list. Other nominees include LL Cool J, Devo, Chaka Khan, Carole King, Kate Bush, The Go-Go's, Todd Rundgren, the New York Dolls, and last but not least, the Foo Fighters. If the Foo Fighters are inducted, Dave Grohl will have been inducted twice, the previous one being for his time as the drummer of Nirvana. And Tina Turner and Carole King could be the second and third female artists to be inducted twice. Turner is already inducted as a member of Ike and Tina Turner, while King was already inducted as a songwriter and is nominated now as a performer. I'm Joey Keeney.
Still to come on 680 News, the World Health Organization says they don't have the information needed to avoid another pandemic. Details up next.
680 News Time, 8:14.
Europe sprung a leak. The water came through, shorted out the furnace, the radiator too.
When you need money fast, Prudent Financial has been your best bank alternative since 1984.
If you need money in a hurry, PrudentFinancial.net. Get money quick, just one click. PrudentFinancial.net.
If you own your car or your home, get a loan. Borrow up to $75,000 in less than an hour. Self-employed, no proof of income, no problem.
PrudentFinancial.net.
As students return to classrooms, we have taken steps to help ensure schools have been made as safe as possible. Ontario's School Safety Plan has been developed in consultation with the Chief Medical Officer of Health. Further protections to prevent the spread of COVID-19 include strengthened masking requirements, enhanced cleaning, expanded targeted testing, and stricter student screening. To learn more about school health and safety measures, please visit ontario.ca/reopening schools. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Toronto's news now. This is 680 News.
It's a -5, feeling like a -10 with some light snow. Good morning, I'm Christine Ritchie.
And I'm Carl Garnish. Here are the top stories this hour.
Thousands of Pfizer vaccines are set to arrive in Canada this week, and starting today, travelers coming across the Canada-U.S. border now have to provide proof of a negative COVID test taken in the last 72 hours. The new rules went into force today at Canada's 117 border crossings. Expect delays.
Just off the backpack and get the lunchbox ready. Students in Toronto, Peel, and York region are preparing to head back to the classroom this week after schools were closed back in December.
And be prepared for a slow commute to school or work tomorrow. Environment Canada has issued a snowfall warning for Toronto and outer regions, and a winter storm warning is out for Hamilton and Niagara, with up to 25 centimeters of snow moving into some areas later tonight.
For these and other stories, head to 680news.com.
Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Simon Bennett.
Well, Christine, for all that the Raptors were flirting with 500 just a few days ago, it was a rough weekend for them. Last night falling to the worst team in the NBA. The Minnesota Timberwolves on top after a dominant third quarter. The Raptors coming back to make it close. Pascal Siakam had a great look to tie the game late in the fourth, but the shot did not go. The Raptors falling 116-112 in Tampa, and now get back-to-backs against the Bucks starting tomorrow. Joe Thornton back practicing on the Maple Leafs first line yesterday and pronounced himself ready to return. He missed 10 games with a fractured rib. The Leafs were the first of 3 straight against Ottawa this week, 7 o'clock tonight. Australian Open, Jessica Pegula, another upset win, and she's off to the quarters after a victory over Alina Svitolina. On the men's side, Rafa Nadal beat Fabio Fognini. He will face Stefanos Tsitsipas next. Canadian Sharon Fishman's women's doubles side moving on to the expense of fellow Canadian Leylah Fernandez. After a long rain delay and a big crash in the final lap, Michael McDowell emerged as the stunning winner of the Daytona 500. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590.
680 News Time, 8:17.
We're told to save for a rainy day, but why not save for a rainy decade? You worked hard for that money, and they're about to put it in there. At Tangerine, you can make that money make money with investments that tend to themselves. Our new mutual funds are called Global ETF portfolios. And for as little as $25, you'll be investing before you can say, what, the ETFs? So start making moves with your money, because investing is in. Visit tangerine.ca and get started today.
Better sleep starts with the right routine and right support. And with Casper's amazing sleep products, it's never been easier to reset your rest, because now their winter sale is here and you can save up to 15% on supremely comfortable mattresses and super soft sheets to make your year. Only Casper mattresses are made with up to 86 supportive gel pods to align your spine and eliminate aches and pains. Shop the winter sale today and enjoy up to 15% off your bedroom essentials. Casper, the official sleep partner of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Exclusions may apply. See casper.ca/promo for details and end date. 680 News Time, 8:18. The World Health Organization leveling heavy accusations against officials in China. Experts probing the origins of COVID-19 say the country's government is withholding important information needed to avoid a similar situation in the future. 680's Karen Ciola reports.
In the ideal world, you would go through it patient by patient by patient.
This Australian microbiologist is a member of the World Health Organization-led team who recently returned from the Chinese city of Wuhan. He says they requested raw patient data from the early days of the coronavirus outbreak. Their Chinese counterparts provided only summaries, saying there wasn't enough time to compile detailed records.
Whether there are any other reasons why the data isn't made available, I don't know.
The WHO researchers visited hospitals, labs, and markets in Wuhan, where the virus first emerged in late 2019. But they say there is too little information so far to understand how and when the outbreak started. I'm Karen Ciolan.
Iran appears poised to make moves as the Biden administration continues to weigh whether it will rejoin the Iran nuclear deal.
In what may be another attempt to pressure the Biden administration, Iran announcing it successfully tested a new smart short-range missile
and announcing it will hold a joint naval drill with Russia in the Indian Ocean soon. This just days after Iran's intelligence minister warned his country may be forced to seek nuclear weapons if U.S. sanctions are not lifted. Israel estimates it would take Iran at least 2 years to develop a nuclear bomb. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem. Your traffic report up next, 680 News Time, 820.
It took early humans thousands of years to start cooking their food. Today, we're not such a patient bunch. Thankfully, Good Food now has same-day delivery, so you can get delicious, ready-to-cook meals and grocery items like Good Food milk and yogurt without the wait. Good Food, eating evolved. Visit makegoodfood.ca. Certain conditions apply. Greater Toronto only. Details on makegoodfood.ca.
Wow. Congrats, man. Coffee? Sure, thanks. It's a great place. I've been saving, but nowhere near a down payment.
Yeah, my dad set me up a while back investing with Questrade. It was easy. And over time...
A man can only hope.
Dude, come on. Hope is not a plan.
It's time to switch to Questrade, ranked #1 in self-directed investor satisfaction by J.D. Power. Learn more at questrade.com and jdpower.com/awards.
821 with his eyes on the roads. Here's Zach Bodenstein.
This report brought to you by TSC, and some good news on those roads. Eastbound 401, everything cleared up at Islington and the Express, so we don't have to worry about that issue anymore. They had it up on the flatbed tow, and it was only a matter of time until that was gone. So nothing doing on the 401 drive, both directions and all areas. Leslie ramp to the westbound 407, that's blocked because of a collision, so we don't have access through there. That's the only ramp closure we have to deal with at this point. But southbound Highway 27 still closed from Finch to Rexdale. That's because of a crash. It's TSC's birthday month, and we're celebrating with birthday specials on your favorite brands, surprise savings, BOGO deals, and so much more. Shop tsc.ca, today's shopping choice. With the forecast, here's Denise Andriacci.
Snowfall warnings for the GTA, Hamilton, Niagara under winter storm warnings, as we could see some heavier amounts of snow there. Either way, it's pretty widespread winter weather event for today, overnight into Tuesday morning. We're also still sitting in that colder below seasonal air mass for a few more days here in the region, and overnight tonight with those stronger winds, we'll have a wind chill close to -17. Snow should wrap up by very latest late morning Tuesday, and it will be drier. We'll get into some clearing. Still quite cold tomorrow, though. Wednesday looks like a good day, a nice break from the active weather, sunny and near -3. It's -7 now at Pearson. We've got mostly cloudy conditions, so some of that snow has tapered off, but scattered flurries and snow remains in effect through the morning and early afternoon before we get a bit of a dry few hours here. Your daytime high today, your guaranteed high -6.
Hi, my name's Marilla. I'm not just the voice of the monitoring center, but also the sales manager. Over the past 20 years, we have helped build one of the most successful alarm companies in the industry. The monitoring center is built upon morals, fairness, and efficiencies, delivering the lowest monthly fees to our customers. Think security, think the monitoring center. Why? Because we care.
1-866-24-7-4999. 1-866-24-7-4999.
Coming up at 8:30, the latest on thousands of Pfizer vaccines arriving into Canada this week as the rollout ramps up again. And starting today, new restrictions at the Canada-U.S. border where a negative COVID-19 test is required before coming into Canada. And get ready for a slow commute tomorrow as Toronto and the GTA are under a snowfall warning. Niagara and Hamilton under a winter storm warning. Details in our weather reports on the ones. 680 News Time, 824.
During extreme weather season, count on our weather experts and the 680 News Extreme Weather Center for all the latest on the storm.
And how to keep you and your family safe.
Road conditions, school cancellations, and the latest storm updates.
The 680 News Extreme Weather Center has you covered.
Brought to you by Subaru. Confidence in motion.
On your radio, online, and on your smart speaker.
This is 680 News.
680 News Time, 824. This portion of the broadcast brought to you by AGMRenovations.com. Well, learn to cook all while helping the Daily Bread Food Bank, a virtual cooking class, gets underway today, this family day at 5 o'clock. Registration for the event is free, but donations are encouraged. Chef Julian Panzer from the Chef Upstairs will lead the class with a goal to set the record for the largest virtual cooking class, and those who register will be sent a grocery and kitchen prep list in advance, along with a Zoom event link. The 2021 Daytona 500 has wrapped up.
The headline?
Michael McDowell, his first career NASCAR Cup Series win in the 63rd running of the Daytona 500.
On Motor Racing Network early on, a 16-car crash, a 6-hour interruption because of rain and lightning.
Showtime at Daytona now. All the marbles on the table.
The last lap after midnight.
Team Penske cars crash. Keselowski is up in a ball of flame, up into the outside wall. He'll take Kyle Busch with him.
McDowell plowed past the 2 spinning cars.
The hole opened up. I just can't believe it. Just so thankful. It's amazing.
McDowell snapping an 0 for 357 streak. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Look in your bathroom mirror and ask yourself, do I like what I see? Those dated tiles? Ugh, that shower? Really? And what's with that vanity? Shouldn't the room you make yourself beautiful in be beautiful? AGM could turn your bathroom into a new, beautiful, relaxing space in just 3 weeks. Call now and save $3,000. AGM.
Prioritizing your family's health is important, and getting an annual eye exam is an essential part of it. So visit your neighborhood Trail Vision. They put safety first. And right now, they're also offering 40% off lenses for adults and free lenses for kids with frame purchase. They direct bill most insurance plans too, making the process easy. Why wait any longer? Arrange your family's eye exams at provision.ca today. Valid prescription required. Valid at participating locations. Restrictions apply. Taxes extra. See store for details. It's March 31st, 2021. Exams available at the Independent Doctors of Optometry app or next to Provision. Now, the 680 News Business Report brought to you by IA Private Wealth.
I'm Mike Gamble. Professional sports teams have already figured out the power of data analytics. Now, Amazon's cloud computing division, Amazon Web Services, is bringing that data to the screen for the fans in a deal announced this week with the National Hockey League. Matt Garvin is the Senior VP with AWS.
The sports industry is really starting to use technology to radically change how they produce sports for the fans, giving additional insights both into the teams and the players and their performance, but also providing new insights into the game themselves from fans' perspective. And AWS is providing that technology and machine learning and infrastructure for the league.
The metrics tracked by Amazon Web Services for the NHL will start to be integrated with the TV broadcast.
We'll see that starting this next year in the television broadcast, where we'll provide advanced stats and analytics. And so you might see things like goal predictability, where we'll show the likelihood that a particular player was going to score in a particular situation. We'll show statistics on which players are likely to win a face-off, how fast the puck was traveling, or how fast the player was going. Interesting kind of additional insights into the game that will be overlaid over the players.
Garmin says the data analytics for the fans will be an extension of what sports teams are already doing.
NHL has this really cool technology where they have puck and player tracking, where they track every single player's movements on the ice, as well as technology where they actually can track the puck in real time. And what they have cameras and sensors all around the stadium to track every single one of those points and how they move. And what AWS will allow them to do is capture all of that data and do machine learning and interesting artificial intelligence insights on top of that data to really start to gain insights that are both interesting to the fan for things that you might miss as you're watching in real time, but also for the team to figure out what works well, how they can get more efficient, and how they can perform better on the ice.
That's Matt Garman with Amazon Web Services, AWS. And at the Business Center, I'm Mike Apple.
From the little kid shooting hoops on the driveway with dad,
to elite athletes at the top of their game,
for anyone who has ever bounced, kicked, spiked, or thrown a ball,
the emptiness is palpable. But we will return to the field, the pitch, the stadium.
We'll feel the sun on our faces and team spirit in our hearts.
We'll collectively rise up and cheer, we did it.
And it will be a healthy planet again.
HealthyPlanetCanada.com.
You know, we should move here.
Maple Auto Mall?
Well, yeah, look at this neighborhood. 9 different dealerships.
You'd spend all your time looking at cars.
And trucks.
We can't live at Maple Auto Mall.
Well, give me one good reason.
Well, for one thing, no daycare.
What are you trying to tell me?
You're not.
I am.
You are?
We are.
We're gonna need a bigger car.
Part of the Zankin Auto Group. 680 News Time, 8:30.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
This is Monday, February 15th. Good morning. I'm Carl Garnish.
And I'm Christine Ritchie. Here's what's making news this hour.
Beginning today, all non-essential travelers crossing the land border into Canada from the U.S. will need to hand over a negative COVID-19 test taken in the past 72 hours.
Urgent COVID-19 testing is taking place at a Mississauga condo today following an outbreak of the variant first detected in South Africa.
Bracing for a wallop, snowfall, or winter storm warnings in place for the GTA and most of southern Ontario, Hamilton, and Niagara in line to be hit the hardest.
Toronto police are investigating a collision between a car and a TTC bus at Dufferin and Steeles. One man is fighting for his life in hospital.
A late comeback falling short for the Raptors, who lost to last place Minnesota. And could Jumbo Joe be back tonight? He says he's ready. Sports at 45.
And coming up in business, a look at Elon Musk's backing of Bitcoin, the future of cryptocurrencies, and what's fueling the buying spree.
680 News Time, 8:31.
It's time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Watching the morning drive, Zach Bodenstein.
Well, Carl, I'm just being told about some debris right now on the westbound 401 affecting express and collector lanes. Just around the 400. So that's something to watch out for. We'll give MTO a call, and hopefully that gets picked up shortly. Good thing is we don't have too many restrictions on the drive other than this. A ramp closure, though. Leslie ramp to the westbound 407 is blocked for a crash. So, again, that's a shutdown for you. Not much else doing, though. DVP, Gardner, QBW, all been moving pretty well at this point. Overall, not bad to start the morning. Southbound Highway 27, though, is shut down from Finch to Rexdale. We got that closure about half an hour ago or so. That's because of a collision. Your next report's at 8:41 with the forecast. Here's Denise Andriacci.
Well, we'll have periods of scattered flurries and light snow this morning. We had a little bit of that just in the last hour, and then we're more into those cloudy conditions right now. So it's on and off throughout the morning and afternoon. Then we'll see some dry few hours before the winds start to pick up. Another round of snow on the way. We've got snowfall warnings in the GTA, winter storm warnings through Hamilton, Niagara. By the time it's all said and done, 20 to 30 centimeters of accumulation is definitely a good possibility here in the GTA and Golden Horseshoe. Please take it easy on the roads, but right now, like I said, not too bad. The higher amounts and the more intense snow certainly later on. A wind chill of -13 right now. You're guaranteed high -6.
680 News Time, 8:33.
The country's COVID-19 vaccine rollout is poised to speed up this week with a big shipment on the way from Pfizer.
It comes as the federal government is implementing new rules at the U.S.-Canada land border. 680's Michelle Morton joins us live with the latest. Michelle.
Christine, non-essential travelers crossing the land border from the U.S. into Canada will need to provide a negative COVID-19 test. All travelers, with some exceptions, will need to show a 72-hour PCR test. And this rule is already in effect for air travelers. This comes as health officials warn about a third wave because of the more contagious variants of the virus. While the border remains closed to non-essential travel, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says legally no Canadians can be turned away at a land border. But if they do show up without that negative test, they can face fines up to $3,000. And some movement this week on the vaccine front. The Public Health Agency of Canada says we're expecting more than 335,000 doses this week, the largest shipments of the Pfizer vaccines yet to arrive. And there's no expectation to see any of the Moderna shots this week. Those deliveries arrive every 3 weeks. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Morton.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News at 8:34. Peel Public Health will be testing all residents of a Mississauga condo for COVID-19 today after 5 people who lived there tested positive for one of the variants. We get more from 680's Julia Rumsey.
Peel Public Health will be conducting the COVID-19 test at the condo building on Monday after a confirmed outbreak of the variant first discovered in South Africa. They say they're taking this urgent step now while community spread of the variant is still fairly low. testing is set to be conducted floor by floor during the day, or Peel Region says residents can go to a testing center in the community. The region has been considered a COVID-19 hotspot during the pandemic, and in a statement, the Peel Medical Officer of Health says as Peel begins to see variants of concern spread within the community, they're at a critical point in the pandemic response as these variants have the ability to erase the progress already made as a community. I'm Julia Ulysses.
680 News Time, 8:35 across the pond now, where Britain has hit a major COVID-19 vaccination milestone.
The goal was ambitious to vaccinate with a burst of 2 shots 15 million of the oldest and most vulnerable in the UK. Health Secretary Matt Hancock.
We hit it 2 days early and right across the whole of the UK, managing to ensure that everybody in groups 1 to 4 is offered a jab.
Uptake here has been higher than expected. Over 90% of the over 70s have been vaccinated. But as Hancock says, there's no rest in the National Health Service. Phase 2 has begun, with those 65 and older now being invited to come in for a jab. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
680 News Time, 8:36, as 27 regions across the province prepare to leave lockdown tomorrow, and students return to classrooms in Toronto, Peel, and York region. A major 2-wave winter storm is tracking towards the GTHA this morning, with snowfall and winter storm warnings in place. We have Alex Bloomfield on the Weather Watch.
Our weather specialist, Denise Andriachi, sums up the week ahead.
Very unsettled, very snowy, and very cold.
There could be 25 centimeters of snow on the ground by midday tomorrow. The first round will wrap up later this afternoon, a much heavier round overnight. Snowfall warnings for all of southern Ontario and winter storm warnings for Hamilton and Niagara region due to lake enhancement. The bottom line, expect brutal driving conditions tomorrow morning, putting a return to in-person classes in jeopardy in Toronto, Peel, and York. But Denise says if we can get through the week,
we eventually are going to see temperatures sort of stabilize and moderate into next weekend.
Houston Airport hasn't recorded a temperature above -3 since February 5th. I'm Alex Bloomfield.
The man is fighting for his life in hospital following a collision in North York between a car and a TTC bus. It happened just before midnight at the intersection of Dufferin and Steeles. Police say the man had to be rescued after becoming trapped inside the vehicle. It does not appear anyone on the TTC bus was seriously injured, and it's not clear what led to the crash.
This is 680 News. If you are planning to head out and grab some essentials this family day, keep in mind a number of things are closed. The LCBO, beer stores, and most grocery stores will not open their doors today, and the same goes for libraries, banks, and government offices. If you and the family are looking to get some fresh air, a number of outdoor skating rinks are open, but keep in mind you will have to reserve a time online beforehand. With the pandemic changing things up for restaurants, try giving your favorite spots a call to see if they are open today. For those that rely on public transit, the TTC is running on a holiday schedule.
680 News Time, 8:37. It was another loss for the Raptors, who fell to the worst team in the NBA last night. Our Simon Bennett has more.
The third quarter was the difference in the game, with Minnesota dominating and leading big at times. The Raptors did make it close, and it came down to this. Pascal Siakam with the ball in the final second, down by 2.
There he goes, driving. Tons of contact, and it rolls off of the iron. Pascal can't believe it. 5 seconds to go.
Wow. It's not the first time that Siakam has had a big late shot not go, but that's more bad luck than anything else. Head coach Nick Nurse.
Unfortunate. Feel bad for him that one rolled out.
Have they given away too many games? Fred VanVleet.
We passed that point a long time ago, we got to fix it.
After the 116-112 loss, the Raptors in for a much tougher test this week, facing the Bucks twice in Milwaukee, starting tomorrow. I'm Simon Bennett.
This is 680 News. A heads up when it comes to the latest COVID-19 data from the province. We will not get another batch of data this family day. Yesterday, Ontario reported under 1,000 new cases of the virus, but Toronto's total was likely underreported due to an ongoing migration to a new reporting system. We will get 2 sets of data tomorrow morning. Still to come on 680 News, we will check the price of gas. 680 News Time, 8:39.
Alexa, what station has the best breaking news, traffic, and weather?
680 News, obviously.
Your life has taken a bit of a break, but your dental health shouldn't. At Ultima Dental, our enhanced cleaning and sterilization protocols will help keep you safe at your appointment, while our team of professionals keep your oral and overall health in check. We also offer our patients a 0% interest payment plan, so you can get the treatment you need when you need it. Located across Ontario and the GTA, contact your local Ultima clinic or visit ultimadental.com to find a dental professional near you. Ultima Dental, care beyond your smile.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. Enpro says the price of gas did not change at midnight, holding just under $1.18 a liter at most GTA stations. Still to come on 680 News, we'll have a check of traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News time, 8:40.
Are you looking for a trusted and experienced online high school where you can earn credits or upgrade your marks? Learn at home with Ontario Virtual School, Ontario's leading online learning provider. With over 10 years of experience, OVS has over 120 interactive and engaging courses to choose from, including STEM, French immersion, and more. Sign up today, set your own schedule, and get 24-hour access to their certified teachers. To learn more and see why over 20,000 students have chosen to learn with OVS, visit OntarioVirtualSchool.ca.
When you need to know, now.
680news.com.
Streams of Truth, brought to you by Sportsnet Now.
Sports fans just want one thing, to watch the game in peace. So, go ahead, confiscate your child's tablet and stream the game with Sportsnet Now. You deserve to find peace, and you can do so by streaming sports on a tablet protected by a pink butterfly case smeared with applesauce.
Live stream sports with Sportsnet Now.
Actually, that might be apricot.
Starting at $9.99. Visit smnow.ca for details.
680 News time, 8:41. It's time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Watching your drive this morning, here's Zach Bodenstein.
This report brought to you by Subaru Canada. We have the Leslie ramp to the westbound 407 blocked because of a collision. Thankfully, though, that's the only problem that we're dealing with on the major routes. Everything's in really solid shape. We had southbound Highway 27 reopen after a brief closure between Finch and Rexdale, so that's no longer the case. And overall, things are moving very well with very few restrictions. Bring on winter safely in a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. First, contact your Subaru dealer to book your appointment and enjoy an incredible winter on bonus. With the forecasters, Denise Andriacci.
Well, we have widespread winter weather for southern Ontario, the GTA under snowfall warnings, Hamilton and Niagara, winter storm conditions. We had a little bit of light snow and some scattered flurries. So we're still seeing that in pockets of the GTA, but now it's mainly overcast downtown. We'll continue with sort of the lighter end of these back-to-back snowfalls through the morning and this afternoon, and then getting into a bit of a break, more intense snow later tonight, overnight, and through tomorrow morning with the winds really howling out of the northeast. So poor visibility. Give yourself extra time tomorrow. You'll definitely be needing to clean the car. So make sure you do that tonight before you head to bed. And maybe clear the driveway too with whatever has fallen through the day, because more intense, heavier snow is expected later tonight. Your guaranteed high today -6.
680 News time, 8:42. You still have time to enter the 680 News Junior Traffic Reporter Contest that is brought to you by 407 ETR. With more on all the details, here's our Jeff Verhoeven.
Yeah, the Junior Traffic Reporter Contest, where you can win $500 for yourself and $500 for your school. Get creative, big energy, and have fun. Amber LeBlanc is our news director. Hey, boss, perfect time to enter, right?
We are staring down a long weekend with kids at home, and I know that might sound like a nightmare. So if you're looking for something to do, helping them enter the Junior Traffic Reporter Contest will help pass the time, which is great.
3 categories, grades 1 to 4, 5 to 8, and 9 to 12. One winner from each. Get your video entries in by Tuesday at 680news.com/contests. Watch yourself, Kyle Hawking. I'm Jeff Verhoeven.
Still to come on 680 News, we'll have a check of the top stories and sports. 680 News time, 8:43.
Getting you where you need to go
faster.
The most traffic in Toronto. 680 News.
It's just common sense. A flexi loan by Capital Direct allows you to manage your funds more effectively and gives you that financial peace of mind. Think of it as secure lending, so you can do all the things you've been dreaming about, whether it's a basement renovation or taking care of tuition. It's the smart move that allows you to take only what you need when you want it. Whether you could use $50,000 or $1.5 million, that cash is available to you. Call Capital Direct today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL.
.ca.
Hi, Brian Fulton here from Mercedes-Benz Newmarket. With the impact of the pandemic, many people are facing increasing mental health challenges, and we'd like to do what we can to help. So I'm proud to announce our support for the Better Begins Today mental health campaign at Southlake Regional Health Center. For every new car leased or purchased now through March, Mercedes-Benz Newmarket will donate $200 to help our community receive mental health care when it's needed most. Learn more at mercedes-benz-newmarket.ca.
Toronto's news now. This is 680 News.
Overcast skies with periods of light snow, -5 in downtown Toronto. Good morning, I'm Carl Garnish, and here are the top stories this hour. The country's COVID-19 vaccine rollout is expected to pick up the pace. More than 335,000 doses are expected from Pfizer this week. It comes as Ottawa is ramping up pandemic restrictions at the U.S. land border, with travelers now required to provide a negative COVID-19 test taken within 72 hours. Peel Public Health is said to conduct urgent COVID-19 testing of all residents at a Mississauga condo today after an outbreak of the virus variant first detected in South Africa was confirmed in the building. As 27 regions across the province prepare to leave lockdown tomorrow and students return to classrooms in Toronto, Peel, and York region, a major two-wave winter storm is tracking towards the GTHA this morning. Snowfall and winter storm warnings are in place, and your extended forecast is coming up at 8:51. Now, 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here is Simon Bennett.
Well, Carl, a rough weekend with the Toronto Raptors ending with a loss to the worst team in the NBA, Minnesota, with a big third quarter. Today by double figures at times. It was close at the end. Pascal Siakam with a great look out of the basket to tie the game in the final seconds, but missed. Raptors falling 116-112 and are now 12-15. They face the Bucks tomorrow. It looks like Jumbo Joe is ready to return. Joe Thornton practicing on the Leafs top line yesterday and says he can't wait to play tonight. 10 games off with a fractured rib. The Maple Leafs host last place Ottawa, but 3 of the next 4 nights. Puck drop at 7. Another big upset win by Jessica Pegula at the Australian Open, knocking out Elina Svitolina. Rafael Nadal with the win over Fabio Fognini. He will face Stefano Tsitsipas next. Michael McDowell was in his 358th NASCAR race, recording his first win at Daytona, of all places, coming up victorious at the Daytona 500 after a final lap crash. Saw leader Joey Logano taken out. Sports 15 and 45 past every hour or any time at sportsnet.ca/590.
680 News Time, 8:46.
Local news, weather, and traffic as it happens.
680 News.
439 pizza
Ciao, I'm Dominic Primucci, and I'm excited to share we now offer plant-based pepperoni. We call it Planteroni. If you're looking for flavor, try one of our delicious plant-based creations. Make it all vegan with our dairy-free cheese and taste the plant-based difference.
As students return to classrooms, we have taken steps to help ensure schools have been made as safe as possible. Ontario's School Safety Plan has been developed in consultation with the Chief Medical Officer of Health. Further protections to prevent the spread of COVID-19 include strengthened masking requirements, enhanced cleaning, expanded targeted testing, and stricter student screening. To learn more about school health and safety measures, please visit ontario.ca/reopening schools. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News at 8:48.
Honor, change, and impact.
These are the filters of the GTA.
Yes, it is Black History Month, and 680 News is telling the stories of those in the Black community who have been instrumental in making our cities better places to live. 680's Julia Runlasi tells us the story of Paul Taylor.
It all began when Paul Taylor's mother immigrated to Toronto from St. Kitts back in the 70s. Taylor says he grew up depending on social assistance from the government because his mother was relegated to low-wage work from the time she arrived in the country, and his upbringing is what led him to what he does today. Taylor is the executive director of Food Share Toronto, a non-profit dedicated to improving Torontonians' access to nutritious food.
I really wanted to devote my energies to not only support people who have been made to struggle the most, but also to push back against the systems that foist poverty and food insecurity on far too many people, and far too many people that look like me.
After doing some research with the University of Toronto, they found Black Canadians were 3.5 times more likely to be more food insecure.
It's the systems that act as pipelines to food insecurity for Black Canadians across this country, actually.
Taylor encourages people to remember that Black folks will continue to navigate the things they navigate after February. He says, let's work together to dismantle the oppressive systems and champion the possibility for change. I'm Julia Rumlasi.
680 News Time, 8:49. China is being accused of withholding important COVID-19 data as a team of experts from the World Health Organization probe the origins of the virus. As Karen Seolin of City News reports, world leaders are calling on China to be transparent so they can avoid another pandemic.
Well, you've got limited bits of information.
Concerns are being raised in the White House over access. The U.S. National Security Advisor calling on China in a statement to give investigators all the data they need, saying it is imperative that this report be independent, with expert findings free from intervention or alteration by the Chinese government.
We do share concerns that they get full cooperation and they get the answers they need.
The WHO said Friday every theory about the origins of COVID-19 is still being investigated.
Some of that work may lie outside the remit and scope of this mission. We knew from before going there that it would take a long time and a lot of efforts.
Beijing is defending its transparency, and an animal disease specialist who is on the WHO team is refuting claims that China is withholding information. Karen Seolin, City News.
In 60 seconds, we'll have a check on the drive with Zach Bodenstein, followed by the extended forecast with Denise Andriachi, both together on the ones. 680 News Time, 8:50.
Some see challenges, we see opportunities. Some see doubt, we see hope. Some see limits, we see possibilities. At Amica Senior Lifestyles, it is possible to be safe, active, and connected, to experience a premium lifestyle tailored to you, to make plans and live life on your terms, safely together. Find out how at amica.ca.
Between shoveling driveways, carrying giant bags of salt, and pulling toboggans up the hill all day, winter can be hard on your back. It's a good thing the 2020 Toyota RAV4 LE all-wheel drive with standard heated front seats has got your back. Lease one from $89 weekly at 3.99% APR for 48 months with $2,500 down. 197 in stock as of February 3rd, 2021, while supplies last. Visit shoptoyota.ca or shop safely at your local Ontario Toyota dealer.
680 News Time, 8:51. It's time for traffic and weather together on the ones. First up, your drive with Zach Bodenstein.
This report's brought to you by 407 ETR. Good news on the roads. We have the Leslie ramp to the westbound 407 just reopened, so no ramp closures to deal with, but I'm hearing about a new problem now on the east 401 through Weston in the Express. Stalled vehicle in the right lane, and I'm looking at it now. It's just before Weston. Most of it on the shoulder, but it's a stalled tractor trailer, so it's going to be taking up that right lane. This isn't causing a delay, though, so not too much to deal with, but certainly something at this point, and that's really the only restriction that we have on the drive, which is some really good news. All of our other major routes in solid shape at this point. 407 ETR would like to thank everyone who continues to help fight COVID-19. Visit 407etr.com/road to recovery to see how they're doing their part. With the forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Just looking at the radars, all this winter weather that's playing out stateside, they're also tapping into that colder Arctic air mass and that very active weather pattern that's in the jet stream. That's where we are here in the lower Great Lakes in southern Ontario. We're going to see this system move in later tonight, and that brings us our second round of snow in 24 hours. We're seeing a little bit of scattered flurries and light snow now, 3 to 5 centimeters, and then tonight, a high impact snowfall with very strong winds, almost blizzard-like conditions. Under winter storm warnings is Hamilton through Niagara, and then the rest of the GTA is sitting under snowfall warnings. The winds will be quite gusty overnight and through early Tuesday morning. Things are going to settle down by midday tomorrow, if not earlier than that. But if you're an early morning commuter tomorrow, or for anyone that was getting the kids ready for them heading back to school tomorrow, it is likely that we could see some school bus cancellations, definitely, as the bulk of the snowfall certainly is going to be in the pre-dawn hours in Tuesday. In terms of temperatures, we're still sitting in that colder air mass. Our guaranteed high today, only -6.
Coming up at 9 o'clock, we will have the latest on Canada's COVID-19 vaccine rollout poised to speed up this week, with more than 335,000 doses are expected now from Pfizer. It does come as Ottawa ramps up pandemic restrictions at the U.S. land border. with travelers now required to provide a negative COVID-19 test taken within 72 hours. As well, snowfall and winter storm warnings in place as a major storm makes its way to the GTHA today. It comes as 27 regions across the province are preparing to leave lockdown tomorrow, and students are set to return to classrooms in Toronto, Peel, and York region this week. 680 News Time, 8:54.
Staying in control of your money can be tough. Luckily, the CIBC Smart Account helps by actively monitoring your everyday banking. It even sends you alerts when you may be short funds and reminders about upcoming payments, so you avoid unnecessary fees and stay in control of your money. Open your CIBC Smart Account today. Get $300 and pay no monthly fee for up to 12 months. That's not just smart, that's everyday smart from CIBC. Conditions apply. Learn more at cibc.com/smart.
We work for you.
From talking to the newsmakers
To getting the answers to what you need to know about COVID-19.
and answers about your job and finances.
If you have a question, ask it at 680news.com/answers.
680 News gets the answers.
We're in this together.
680 News, working for you.
Coming up in just 60 seconds, we'll have the 680 News Business Report with Mike Apple. 680 News Time, 8:55.
There's a new star on the scene, the all-new Nissan Rogue. With a reimagined interior design, zero-gravity seats, and Apple CarPlay with wireless connectivity, the Rogue is the redesigned family SUV for your redefined fam. And now, at the award season sales event, lease the 2021 Rogue S front-wheel drive from the equivalent of just $78 weekly. Visit Nissan.ca or contact your Nissan dealer. $339 monthly at 3.9% for 64 months with zero down. Conditions apply.
Mask quality matters. It's a fact. Order your essential pandemic products from Serco.com and make the same choice doctors and hospitals have been making for over 60 years. We stock only premium medical grade products from trusted manufacturers. We have the medical N95 masks, nitrile gloves, and level 3 masks to protect your clinic, staff, and family. Free shipping on orders over $75 within Ontario. Visit Serco.com today. That's SURGO.com.
680 News Time, 8:56. It's now time for the 680 News Business Report.
I'm Mike Apple. Elon Musk has long been a backer of Bitcoin. All it took for Bitcoin to go completely next level this past week was a revelation by Musk's company, Tesla, that the automaker had put more than $1.5 billion into the cryptocurrency. Mike Novogratz is the manager of the Galaxy Digital Fund. He talked about the action with Bloomberg News.
You know, Elon Musk has done the best job of almost any CEO at creating shareholder value, right? Of creating a stock price that's driven high. One of the things that connect Bitcoin and Tesla and solar stocks and ESG investing is millennials and Gen Z. Young people are buying into the future, and they see cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and other cryptos, as their currencies. Elon is a genius in that he realized, listen to the people.
At the same time, Novogratz was critical of Musk's tweets in support of a more questionable crypto called Dogecoin, which was originally set up as a joke and a meme.
You know, the frenzy around Dogecoin is bad. I'm surprised that Elon Musk has fun tweeting about it. I think it's a little irresponsible. Bitcoin is built with a purpose to be a store of value, right? There are 114 elements on the periodic table. Only gold has store of value. In crypto, Bitcoin is going to dominate store of value. And so Dogecoin really doesn't have a purpose. It's a meme coin. It's a lot like GME. The people that buy Dogecoin are going to die at these levels are going to lose their money.
And along the way, there's a reason why perhaps cryptocurrencies and precious metals may be in favor. Novogratz says that comes back to central banks printing money.
If we had Chairman Powell here on the split screen, I'd blame him for all of it. And Lagarde today said, we're going to keep the money coming, baby, and we want the governments to keep the money coming. And so when you have this kind of monetary policy, people are going to find new ways to store value. Baseball cards, basketball cards, right? Collectibles are skyrocket. And so you're going to continue to see other ways people hold value. Appreciate.
Mike Novogratz, manager of the Galaxy Digital Fund, speaking of Bloomberg News. And at the Business Center, I'm Mike Apple.
Share some happy with McCafe. Right now, you can enjoy a consistently rich, smooth, and delicious medium McCafe premium roast coffee, hot or iced, for $1 plus tax. At participating restaurants for a limited time. Prices exclude delivery.
Start your weekdays with Morning Live on CHCH.
Good morning, I'm Annette Hong. Here's what we're working on.
Stream or tune in at 6 a.m. for updates on the latest from your region with weekly briefs from health professionals and local officials.
Our Meet the Mayor series continues. Whether a
traffic for those heading out the door.
Here's the radar we're looking at. Non-essential traffic, just stay home.
Plus, freshly squeezed fun to kickstart your day. Morning Live, waking you up with information and inspiration for 20 years. Weekdays at 6 a.m. on CHCH.
No Frills wants to thank you for hauling so much that they made an event just for you. Haul those deals, earn those points, stretch those dollars like a hauler card. Shop the Haul About You event on now. Visit nofrills.ca/flyer for details.
Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for IA Private Wealth. Canada's choice for professional, trusted advice that's uniquely tailored for every stage of your financial journey. Visit iaprivatewealth.ca.
As you have been hearing in the forecast, we have snowfall warnings and winter storm warnings in effect all across the GTHA this morning as a major storm is making its way towards us with lots of centimeters of snow on the way this evening. Taking a look at Oshawa, though, we have periods of snow right now, -7 degrees. Out in Milton, similar conditions, feels like -8. Right now in downtown Toronto, overcast skies, -5. 680 News Time, it's 9 o'clock.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
Good morning. This is a Monday, February 15th. I'm Christine Ritchie.
And I'm Carl Garnish. Here's what's making news this hour.
Travelers coming into Canada through the land border, be prepared. Starting today, you'll have to hand over a negative COVID-19 test, and Canada is expecting its largest shipment of Pfizer vaccines yet. And more good news on the COVID front. Thousands of Pfizer vaccines are arriving in the country this week.
Snowfall and winter storm warnings remain in place across the GTA. Snow beginning this morning and intensifying tonight.
A man is being treated for life-threatening injuries after a collision between a car and a TTC bus at Dufferin and Steeles.
With the impending return of Joe Thornton, the Maple Leafs host the Sens for the first of 3 meetings this week, and the Raptors lose to Minnesota's Bucks at 15.
And coming up in business, Canadian companies might still be pivoting in 2021 after a lot of pandemic-related adjusting last year. We get insight from Square Canada.
680 News Time, 9:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Zach Bodenstein.
This report brought to you by Scotiabank. There's a new issue now. Westbound 401 approaching the 400. Transfer lanes to the collectors affected with some debris. So that's something to watch out for. We'll give MTO a call about that. Again, that's the West 401 approaching the 400. Transfer lanes to the collectors affected with debris. Everything gone on the eastbound 401 rather, approaching Weston in the Express. There was a minor issue in the right lane, and it moved on to the shoulder, and now it's completely gone. I'm not spotting much on the major routes across the GTA right now, so a pretty good drive this morning. There are 14 days left to the RRSP contribution deadline. Visit scotiabank.com/investing to build a plan to invest for tomorrow and enjoy your life today. With the forecast, here's Denise Andriacci.
Well, snowfall warnings for the GTA. We're expecting up to 25 centimeters by the time all of this snow is wrapped up. We had a little bit this morning. It's continuing. Scattered flurries and light snow through the morning and early afternoon, and then really re-intensifying with a good round of system snow tonight. Very widespread with very strong winds, almost blizzard-like conditions. If you're an early commuter tomorrow morning, very treacherous driving in the early morning hours. The plows have to do their thing, so even the regular morning commute and maybe the kids even heading back to school, there could be some bus cancellations. So we are expecting quite a heaping of snow with this system that's going to be moving in tonight. But even with this little bit we're getting through the morning and afternoon, enough to make roads slick, 2 to 5 centimeters. Right now, it's -5 downtown. At Pearson Airport, we're sitting at -7, the guaranteed high, -6.
680 News Time, 9:03.
Some good news to begin your Monday. More than 300,000 Pfizer vaccines will land in the country this week, with an even bigger shipment to arrive the following week.
As well, the U.S. border is seeing some new restrictions today. 680's Michelle Morton joins us live with everything you need to know. Michelle.
tested on arrival in day quarantine. The border remains closed to non-essential travel until at least February 21st. Restrictions have been in place since March. Meanwhile, Canada's vaccination efforts are wrapping up this week. The Public Health Agency says Canada can expect more than 335,000 doses this week, the largest shipment of vaccines since the pandemic began. But we're not expecting any of the Moderna shots this week because those deliveries arrive every 3 weeks. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Morton.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News at 9:04.
Students may not return to class in Toronto, Peel, and York Region tomorrow. After all, snowfall and winter storm warnings are now in place across the GTA with a heavy blast of snow on the way this evening. 680's Alex Bloomfield reports.
5 centimeters of snow could be on the ground by later this afternoon across much of the region, but that's only a preview for round 2 tonight.
We're looking at about 10 to up to 20 centimeters of additional snowfall. This is mainly overnight.
That's our weather specialist, Denise Andriachi, who adds lake enhancement could bring up to 35 centimeters to Hamilton and Niagara region. Winter storm warnings in place there. Snowfall warnings for the rest of southern Ontario, including the GTA, and high winds will likely mean brutal driving conditions tomorrow morning, possibly leading to bus cancellations for the return to in-person classes in Toronto, Peel, and York region. And Denise says we might do it all again Friday morning.
We've got more snowfall coming Thursday into Friday. An additional 10 centimeters is possible.
On its heels, a likely warmer and calmer weekend. I'm Alex Bloomfield.
680 News Time, 9:05. If you do find yourself braving the cold, you want to make note of some Family Day closures today. Libraries, banks, and government offices all closed. That also includes LCBO, beer stores, and most grocery stores. As well, the TTC is running on a holiday schedule. If you and the family do want some fresh air, though, a number of outdoor skating rinks are open today. Keep in mind you have to reserve a time online beforehand.
Today, Peel Public Health is conducting widespread COVID-19 testing of all residents living inside a Mississauga condo. It comes after data found 5 cases of the variant first discovered in South Africa in that building. 680's Julie Arilisi has more.
Testing is set to be conducted floor by floor between the hours of 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or Peel Region says residents can go to a testing center in the community. The Peel Medical Officer of Health says as we begin to see variants of concern spread within the community, we're at a critical point in the pandemic response as these variants have the ability to erase the progress we've made as a community. He adds that it's imperative that residents continue to follow the guidelines of public health and limit interactions with others in order to stop the spread. In a statement, Peel Region says they're taking this urgent step now while community spread of this variant is still low. Peel Region has not named the building in question. I'm Julia Rumasi.
This is 680 News. A man is fighting for his life in hospital after a car he was in collided with a TTC bus in the city's north end. Police say they got the call just before midnight in the area of Dufferin and Steeles. Now, they say the man was rushed to a nearby hospital with life-threatening injuries, but first he had to be rescued after becoming trapped inside that vehicle. No further injuries have been reported. It's also not clear what led to the crash at this time.
And due to the holiday today, the province will be releasing a new batch of COVID-19 data. Yesterday, Ontario reported under 1,000 new cases of the virus, but Toronto's total was likely underreported due to an ongoing migration of a new reporting system. 2 sets of data will be released tomorrow morning.
Stateside data from the U.S. suggests that new cases of COVID-19 continue to see a downward trend.
The variant first discovered in Britain is not only more contagious, but also more deadly. Tempting though it is for cities and states to ease restrictions as the caseload drops, Dr. Ashish Jha at the Brown University School of Public Health told ABC News now is not the time.
I totally understand why cases are down. They want to do it. I would say hold a little longer.